There's a few things in order to be successful killing moles with these spring-loaded traps that you have to do, or you won't be successful in your opportunities to kill them. And the first thing you need to do before you even set the traps is to go down and press all of his tunnels that are in your yard down flat, and then come out the next day and hopefully one of those tunnels will be up, and that will indicate which is his main tunnel that he's taking to get to the rest of his tunnels, and that's where you ideally want to set your trap. So the first thing you have to do is, we'll say this is a tunnel here that has now been determined to be his active tunnel. You go down, and where you want to set your trap in that tunnel, you want to press down with your foot and flatten just that area out. Leave the tunnel here and here existing, just flatten that out, and that's where we're going to set our trap. Then we put the prongs across both sides of that tunnel, and now this is where a lot of people make the mistake. They'll set this trap, they'll push it down in the dirt, and they'll set it, and then they'll walk away, and that won't kill the mole, because what you do is you've left a bunch of debris, dirt, rocks, and so forth in the holes that will prohibit the spikes from penetrating down deep enough, and the mole will get away on you. So as you press this trap down, you want to pull the top of this spring loaded, and as you press this down, let it fly. And let it fly, and let it fly deep enough so that this part of the trap, this flat part of the trap, ends up hitting flush with the ground. After that, pull your trap up just a little bit, and then when you set your trap, and it's better off to start with this outside, now your trap is set. Ideally on the flat part of the tunnel where you pressed it down with your foot, you want that ground to be exactly underneath this pan. So immediately when that ground starts to be pushed up by the mole, it will spring the trap, and we'll show you that here in a second. And your pre-existing holes from where you drove these spikes into the ground before you set the trap will allow the trap to go completely down 100% and kill your mole. So as the mole comes through the tunnel, he has to push up on the part of the tunnel that you flattened out yourself, forcing this trap up, and then this part of your trap will now be flush to the ground, and you can see the depth of these spikes. He cannot avoid it, and that'll kill your mole. So the three things you have to do are push down all your tunnels, find out which tunnel is active, go to that active tunnel the next day, only press down the part of the tunnel where you're going to set your trap, and then pre-drill your holes by letting this go as you set the trap all the way down to the farthest depth, and then set your plate here to the flat part of that tunnel, and you'll have your mole.